What is up, all my Fancy Fly viewers? My name is Daniel and welcome back to Techno. More importantly, welcome back to part 3. So as you guys know, in part 1, we set up the desk, got them ready, got all the stuff that I wanted ready. Part 2, we built my girlfriend her PC. Now it's finally time for part 3. It's time to build my PC. So I already took the liberty of getting everything that I needed out of the case that my PC was originally in. It was a nightmare. Guys, the hard drive cage is like tilted, like bent to the side. I don't know if the 4000D has it like that or not. I'll look it up later. It was bent to the side because of the power supply. There were 4 standoffs with screws stuck onto my motherboard. I almost couldn't get my motherboard out. So whoever built my PC when I bought it didn't do a very good job. I got a couple of the parts all over the table. As I do this video, I'm gonna go over it all. So we're just gonna go ahead, take everything off. I still have the PC thing in case I need to reference anything again. Grab the CPU out. So right here, we have the Ryzen 5 5600X. This is a 6-core, 12-thread processor. Pretty much, this was part of the NZXT build kit that I showed you guys in part 2. Should just fall into place like that. Had base speeds better than mine did, so I decided to take this one. Obviously, my girlfriend is just gonna be on the web playing games, so for her it's better. Oh, I got a burp. So for RAM, we are rocking Corsair Vengeance RGB Pro. These are the, well, yeah, obviously I said it, RGB editions. They're DDR4 3200 with a CL16 timing, so they're, you know, standard. Hello. There we go. That's 1. There we go. 2. Eventually I do want to get a second pair of these, so I'm running 32 gigabytes, but for right now we're just gonna keep with these. I don't know what I'm gonna do with these other ones. I'm just gonna throw them in the container that these sticks came in. So that's it for the motherboard. Pretty simple. If I remember correctly, I think the next step is to prepare the AIO. So here we go. This is the iCUE H100i Elite Capital X. It's an all-white CPU AIO pump cooler. This is gonna look so nice in the case we're doing. I will show you guys the case in a second. Let's just go ahead and prep this first. This pump and radiator combo actually comes with the Corsair, what are they? Oh, the SP120 RGB fans. So I went ahead and picked myself up 2 more single ones, just that way I have a total of 4 and I'm only stuck with 2. So next step is to go ahead and start working on our case. So we want to install the motherboard in the case. I've learned a lot, guys. I've learned a lot, I promise. I haven't learned a lot about cleaning up, apparently. Okay, so this is the NZXT H510 Compact ATX case. Oh, I didn't think about where I should kind of actually like drop this at. All right, so here is it's backwards. Here is the case for you guys. It's a nice, very nice case. I wanted compact because I felt like my last case was kind of big, and I guess I've realized I'm not the biggest fan of big. When I was deciding how I was gonna do this whole video and I saw the build kit and I saw this case, I was like, ooh, I want this case. And I was like, I asked my girlfriend, you want me to get you a different case? And she was like, yeah, why not? So that's how this came about. This case just feels all around more simple. Let's go ahead and pick up our motherboard. Drop it in here. Hopefully it all fits. So same as last time, I'm gonna screw in all the stuff before I show you guys, for safety's sake. I know. I wish I was like unsafe and dangerous, but I'm not. You know, it's so weird after building like one PC, I feel like, I guess in a sense, more confident about doing it by myself. Like obviously still I'm gonna look at the manuals for things and like double check I'm putting it in right, but like, you know, I guess I just feel more confident about what I'm doing. Now, if you guys like this case, but you want to go for something a little bit more airflowy, they do have the H510, I think it's called Flow actually. H510 Flow, which is the same case which is the same case but with a mesh front. Look how much space my motherboard is taking up in this already. So now that we have our stuff in here, next job is to plug in the fans. So all the fans that aren't part of the radiator, we're gonna plug in. All the parts that I have are gonna be linked in the description below in case you guys wanna buy the same stuff and build it for yourself. Right, now that we got all that mounted, the next step from this book is to install the power supply. But we're gonna install the radiator because I do need to figure out how this is going to look. Radiator's gonna have to go in the back, so the fans are gonna have to go in the front. But I wanna be able to see my fans. I'm just gonna try and mount this the way that you see it right now. See if hopefully maybe it works. If not, then we're going to have to try a different way, which would just be by putting the fans in the front over here. I'm just trying to have the best airflow possible. Obviously, if you're sucking in air from a very small vent, you're not really gonna see anything. In hindsight, I realized that, you know, I took a lot of time and into researching a lot of stuff about like will all these parts fit and everything, but I realized now that the one thing I didn't research was like this case. If I were to have an option, I would go for the H510 Elite or the H510i, but because I realized that no matter what I do, either way, these RGB fans are, the RGB in them is essentially useless. Useless because nobody's gonna see it. Yep, all right, so my hypothesis was correct. So pretty much there actually isn't enough clearance because there are these little tabs on the inside of the case that you need to attach this to, which we can't because the AIO or the radiator block is kind of in the way. So what we're gonna have to do instead, we're gonna have to put the fans in the front, then put the brackets, then put the radiator on. We're all good. All right, next step is I'm gonna try and get it in the case. I'm gonna just probably skip past this part for you guys because I did have struggles just trying to get the fans in the case originally, so. Alright guys, so as you can see, the PC is all built and everything. I am so sorry that you guys didn't get to see the rest of the build. So a couple things I guess I'll make a note of. I didn't realize that the Founders Edition came with its own adapter for a 12 volt. So kind of sucks that I don't get to use the white cable mod cables that I got. Maybe I'll look online for something. At first when I turned on the computer, I did run into an issue where it said CPU fan error, but I quickly realized that the problem was that even though in the manual it told me to connect the CPU pump connector to a CPU fan header, I connected it to the AIO pump, which obviously was the problem. So I reconnected it to one of the CPU fan headers up top and everything worked fine. The computer is running good. All my drives and everything are on there. My RAM is good. And I mean, the build looks really nice. I mean, in regards to temps and thermals, but honestly, it actually runs pretty cool. I did play one game to test it. I'm gonna give you guys benchmarks in just a minute, but I think that during that game, my GPU actually only went up to 67%, which is kind of crazy. The fact that it only went up 67%. So the first game I decided to test, one of my favorite games I've been obsessed with recently, is Halo Infinite. As you can see in the top right, we are getting between 110 to 140 FPS with a little bit of a lag spike here and there. I'm not sure what that's about, but keep in mind this is with OBS and everything. Usually I get around 150. Okay, the next game we're testing out is Fortnite. This was before the update. So on Fortnite right now we're getting around between 150 to 160 FPS, and I believe this is on all high settings, so it's pretty good FPS we got going on here. I did not win this match in Fortnite. And finally, the last game we have testing here is Apex. Guys, don't roast me. I'm not good at Apex. This is my first time playing it since literally like season 1. But as you can see, we're getting around 135 FPS average with a couple of drops. Again, this is all on high settings, so if I put this on low, obviously we'll get somewhere around over 200 FPS. And yeah, let's just say I did pretty bad during this game. I mean, I don't even know how to play, so keep that in mind. I would say that the overall process in general of building a computer with the NZXT guidebook made things a lot easier. This experience has taught me a lot more about computers than I knew before. And for all of you who are wanting to build your first computer, but you're not sure if you should or not sure if you're gonna mess up or ruin something, I promise you, as long as you watch a YouTube video and listen carefully to what they have to say, you can build a PC. I mean, for me, it was a mix between watching some videos and looking at the guidebook. The guidebook was hands-on. Like, the guidebook was great. NZXT did an amazing job with it. Really hope that you guys enjoyed. If you guys enjoyed part 3, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna try my best to have more PC builds and more PC guides coming out soon. With all that being said, I hope you guys have a nice rest of your day, and I'm gonna head out because it's been a long day for me. Peace.